they're not going to put as much pressure on themselves, play their own Counter-Strike, because they know they can win with their own Counter-Strike. So I am going to go for the 2-0. I feel Vertigo could be competitive. If Na'Vi Jr. can make it close again, you know, another 12, 13, 14 rounds from them, then clear signs of improvement. In terms of players, really quickly here before we get into the pistol, I would have to go with Bit and Axile. I feel like they fill very similar roles on their teams, and both looking really good in recent form. Of course, shout out to LootBet, our primary betting partner. I was trying to combine the two words, sponsor and partner, Spartner. But nonetheless, moving in towards B here on Care, the player that you pointed out, looking good straight out of the gate. There's 3 players here ready and waiting. The homework perhaps done. What's happened here? A bit of an impromptu boost makes life awkward. And they're not cleaning up these frags just yet. So still certainly doable, right? Low HP bars across the board, more so on GAMBIT Youngsters side of things, but still certainly doable here for both teams.
What an awkward exchange. I think he meant to jump out the window. Next thing you know, he's on his teammate's head, and he's looking down at him, and there's still USB bullets ringing by. Kind of lucky to be alive as Nafani and Axile. 15 and 12. 27 combined. Don't ever say I can't do math. And I'm going to look to just contact out middle. They could do one of 2 things. I mean, they could do more, but in my mind, they're either walking connector or walking cat. I don't think you mess with window at this point. And it comes down to this P250 of Shiro tapping off Gospodarov's head, but the timing worked out beautifully. Shiro will clear it. 25 seconds. They even have, thought it was a smoke. It was a decoy to cover the plant. Shiro has to protect his man from the fan. He's so weak, and he will. Wow, Shiro, that P250 goes to work. Axile finds a second right before that. That's how GAMBIT Youngsters bring back a pistol. It was looking so good for Na'Vi Jr. And then it just all fell apart so quickly, Scriv. I mean, not quickly. Maybe quickly is the wrong word, but in such a awkward House of Cards type of manner.
Yeah, I get what you mean. Certainly at the end, it was very sudden, I guess. This is immediately the difference, though. Tiki-Takan, the way that rounds were approached by both teams, GAMBIT Youngsters kind of did fall into it because it was working for them, was just it either worked or it didn't. Yeah, strategy would come out from one side, and you'd either find all the frags or you get mowed down by a crossfire. Get mowed down by a crossfire. However, this game, I feel like GAMBIT Youngsters, you can immediately tell with that first round, a lot more respect, a lot more patience, a lot more time taken to think things out, instead of, we've brought it back to a 3v3, let's keep rushing into B, because, you know, we're better than them or whatever, and we'll just hit the headshots. They decide instead to work with something a bit different. And luck goes their way. They get great timing onto Gospodarov, but all the same, the mindset is immediately different. Maybe because it's grand finals, maybe because of the opponents. I feel like it's probably a combination of the two. And they have to prove themselves. They're the other junior team in the scene, and they have to prove how much better they are. But Oncare has got so much flair. Oh, lands another shot as well. Looking so good here. This is suddenly, to bring up the word again, unraveled for GAMBIT Youngsters this time around. It looks like they might be able to get it over the line. They will indeed. Shiro gets the drop onto Topa, just about. Still a lot of damage done by the CTs there.
I'm calling it right now. We are strap in, right? Like, get your chair in a comfy position, because we are in for one hell of a best of 3. I'm already feeling it from these first couple rounds, how nice some of these shots are from Oncare, Shiro. These guys are playing really out of their mind right now with just the awareness and crosshair placement. Everything's going well for GAMBIT Youngsters. And Na'Vi getting some kills on that force by nearly pulling it over the line. And now it's a bit of a stack. They're going to show face with one player, make Nafani want to chase him, and when he jumps out and tries to clear back bench, there'll be a surprise of 3 players willing and waiting. That molly will eventually spread down Care. Here comes the MAC-10 and Nafani. His teammates are backing him up, and so far, so good. They can lose that MAC-10, not a big deal. Cleanup will commence. Topa hoping to find one, and he actually does. Okay, so 2 players. AK is recovered, though. So no harm, no foul. Navi Jr., enough for the up. And actually armor and utility. It's been a while since I've seen an actual 4th round buy from the CTs that is this full.
All right, here we go. Gonna need to get this foot in the door, as I always say. Gambit youngsters looking good straight out of the gate. Some close, dicey moments, but able to overcome them as they so often do. RV Jr., although it all comes down to Vertigo, that's kind of what we both agreed. I feel they still need to put up a fight here. Give them a run for their money. Knock their confidence a bit. And prove why they should also be considered in these conversations of young up-and-coming players. It is worth pointing out, though, Navi Jr. fit into the junior a lot more than Gambit youngsters fit into the youngsters, as far as I'm aware. I think they've got, like, multiple players who are 18, 19 and whatnot. I will fact-check myself. I think a lot of people could learn a lesson or two from doing that, but I'll do it in a second, because of course they're moving out on towards this B-bomb site, Keith. They've actually made it out, and maybe the drop, yeah, from Axel going to come in as he finds both, spins around to get that second, and surely the save.
Yeah, looking like it. Fanny actually catches Gospodarov, probably trying to escape in towards A-Halls, into that palace position. Now Fanny's allowed to just hunt, given some room, given some leeway. They've built up some T cash, which is always scary. And Gambit are kind of doing what they do best, right? Playing a very punish style CS, where they'll get the first pick and they will snowball typically heavily towards that area and really make you want to over-rotate and justify it. And maybe Oncare will fall. He will. Pacho, last second, hangs on. That M4 is not going to really make a difference. If they save 3, they would have bought, but with only 1, not going to happen. So Gambit youngsters have kind of set the pattern of getting a pick and then exploiting that side of the map. Watch them slowly tend to break that over time and really start to lean towards getting a pick, making a rotate, and then kind of just playing for a bit more info after that. Gambit youngsters like to do this kind of lean on the picks early and then kind of settle into more default. We'll see if Navi Jr. going to bite. How's this going to play out? They invested a little bit around the 1M4. I don't hate it, Scriv. But Capacho must be feeling a whole world of heat to try to get something done with this M4.
Yeah, the weight of the world on his shoulders, but Oncare helping out with that scout. He's looked pretty damn good with it, actually. Finding an opening frag. So Gambit youngsters got to be careful here. An overlooked angle as well. Nice off angle in the ladder room. Double flash. Nice and safe. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant stuff. Not taking any chances at all. Full respect once again from Gambit youngsters here onto their opponents. They're still taking a few bullets in the face. So the fact that it's being kept even with a buy like this here from Navi Jr. is somewhat worrying. Those little moments, those moments we often comment on and that we really like from Gambit youngsters, continuing to show themselves.
Creeping. Gospodarov gonna peek from stairs. Oh, he had a chance. He can't say Shiro didn't give him a moment there. Can the bomb cross? Oncare will allow it. Not because he didn't have a shot, just because he's feeling nice. See? Exactly. He'll find Shiro. Super up, perfect timing, and comes back with the crosshair all the way back around. He'll keep that weapon, build that money. I'd like to see him drop for Nafani just to keep, you know, the economy even. Let's spin around from Supra. Really well done. And Gambit stay flawless. They get up to 5. Navi break out the op once more. Scriv. And I want to see Gospodarov get a little aggressive. Oncare's been playing well. Now that he's at M4, look for him to settle in. But Gospodarov, I think an opening pick is needed, Scriv. Gambit have been having a bit of a free-flowing time with that.
Oh, nice push in coming in. Oncare only good for 1, though. We often say 1-for-1 trade. Not exactly sound. Gonna go for the jump peek again. It's all good though. He spotted Shiro out. Gonna molly them. Gonna flash them. Ooh, and Gospodarov taking a risky angle here. Very risky indeed. Great utility usage once again to kind of push him into an awkward spot. Headshot lands, I think, yeah, just through the lip of the stairs. And Gospodarov's still alive and hitting shots. That might well just come back to haunt them. Second one coming in for him. All going to be onto Shiro. 1 versus 4. Drops the first. They're so heavily stacked on each other as well. He's playing it well, though. Manages to bring it down to a 2v1. They're on top of each other. He's got plenty of time to work with, but Shiro so fast right now. In and out, trying to bait out the shots, trying to bait out the peaks. Oh, imagine. Not going to happen, though. Gospodarov will take him down. The third coming in for him, and the first for Na'Vi Jr. secured.
On the board. It's what you like to see. They only lose 3 players on top, or 2 players, excuse me, on top of that. They get to keep some weaponry. Leop will stay in play, and he will decide to stick around as this round unfolds. Uncare getting aggressive right when they're doing a run boost. The op's right in his face. Shiro goes down. Supra, though, good for the trade. Uncare couldn't believe what he just saw. Maybe he thought it was Santa's reindeer flying across. Didn't even know what. Could have been a fastball. But he gets the kill regardless. Stop Shiro at 10 kills, which is already absurdly up there. Considering we just started round 7. And Na'Vi Jr., they maintain, they will hold. And more importantly, getting a really good setup into B going right now. Execute about to happen. That nade. Oh, a little bit of damage. I mean, more so on the Fanny than Axile. And with 50 seconds bit, since there's no reaction on that nade, he almost got caught rotating out. A flash for Topa to peek. Yes, sir. Not deep enough. Gambit youngsters were tucked into the proper corner. And now it's just Bit alone to defend. He's calling it they've jumped out, but no one is starting to come help him. He heard the jump out. He knows someone's on floor. And he gets timing. Bomb will now come back. Enters. You know what? He has done his job. Getting 1. Making this round unobtainable. Unachievable. And Gospodarov will look to save Gambit youngsters. I've essentially done it. They've broken Na'Vi Jr.'s money. I mean, not essentially. They have. And Gambit youngsters will jump up to 6. And seemingly a 7 will follow here, Scriv.
Would appear so. Do we act like nothing happened? Or did you even notice?
Oh, I noticed.
Oh, okay. Did you tell anyone?
No.
Okay, cool. All good. All good. Touch wood. You know, we're cool. Either way. Hellcase. What do you know? Here they are again. Fancy seeing you here. Our primary case partner. I've got 2 codes for you, of course. Malta V 15 for some extra cash and a 15% refill bonus. Click the banner down below. Get some skins. The ones you deserve. All right. Na'Vi Jr. on a very weak buy indeed. They do have these saved weapons across, though. Gospodarov, for me, has been looking pretty good. Fairly consistently, I would say. So... potential, particularly with 3 players around him, supporting him. Oh, and you might just be able to bait them out. Great utility usage here. He is heavily smoked out, looking to get aggressive and try and catch some players off guard. There you go. It does happen. It's actually Horncare with 2 that makes all the difference. And a 4 versus 2, just like that, the A stack has paid off massively. And now Shiro and Axile are left with it all to do. Just Axile, that's the bomb dropped. He's coming in above the smoke, trying to find a cheeky heady. He does manage to take down Bit. You know where he's at now, though. He's just on the edge of the smoke. I mean, I love the look of the smoke, but on care, of course. 2 quick headshots able to drop him. That smoke's really cool, but not able to get anything done off the back of it, really, because he didn't have any teammates. And Na'Vi Jr., they get a second off the back of the force buy.
That's the round they win. I mean, I'm not going to question it. But that's the one they win. All right, I don't care. MP9 has definitely been a valid investment into that one. And came at a really good time. These rounds have been somewhat close at times, making Gambit's money questionable. Shiro gets a scout. The rest go with Deegs. Not even investing armor. Oh, and Supra. Well, remove Bit from the equation. I'll take my pencil out. I'll erase those brackets. And Bit's moved from the equation. Uncare hoping to be the anchor in middle. Well, Gospodarov will rotate with the op to B, it seems, Skriv. Right when Topa's getting aggressive towards Cat, that flash over the top is gorgeous. Uncare's not going to be greedy, though. He'll take the one. Gospodarov is locking down B. And the best Gambit can hope for is maybe a kill and a plant. That'd be cool, but unlikely. Wow, they concede the plant. That's actually big.
Yeah, it's pretty big. I'm sure on the scout. Okay, and a lot of damage coming off the Glock. Might be able to find a couple frags here. One for now. Oh, tag coming in onto the second, but the M4 saves the day. The weapon, of course, best suited to dropping a scout and able to do so. But good damage. And a bomb plant is a decent result for Gambit youngsters. A full return on the investment and then some for a couple of the players there. They're really going to be happy with that. And a nice, comfortable, no worries, full utility buy to work with. Obviously, the momentum, the lead, a little under threat, but they still have a lot of room. And I feel like with a buy like this, they should be able to get the better of Na'Vi Jr. Should being the operative word. We'll see. AWP in play for Shiro. I'm excited to see what he gets done with this.
You want to know a random fun fact I just stumbled upon? Axile has a Twitter account, but has never sent a tweet out, and he's had it since 2017. Just saying. What a very... Must not have a lot to say. Sure does in the server, however, whenever he plays. Damage dealt early to Bit. Gambit youngsters take mid control very quick, Skriv. And it seems like they're just going to save the tweet in drafts, and time to shape up a bit of an execute from mid here.
Definitely slowed down, just waiting to get everyone in position. Bomb retrieval. Drop back from Shiro to refresh the smoke. Nice return Molotov, to be fair. I don't think it's quite going to spread to Nafany, which is good. But, of course, slows down the proceedings for now. And the smoke going in towards jungle is pretty big, actually. They're able to easily clear up the first channel. Orncare holding from Sandwich. Ooh, looks away at the wrong time. He'd seen the shadow there as well. Definitely could have dropped that player or maybe stayed alive a little longer. Regardless, Shiro on the AWP seems to be tearing through everybody. No one can stop him, and Topa going to look to save. So there you have it. Gambit youngsters do indeed get the 7th. Survive with 4 players alive as well. So massive stuff as they will put a stop to Na'Vi Jr., at least for now. Ooh, fully as well, dropping all the players. Money to buy. They will have to spread the wealth. It will take them deep into the coffers, but certainly possible.
Man, Na'Vi Jr. cannot catch a break. I say that with hope in my voice, but every time they seemingly get something going, it just Gambit youngsters to just get the next rifle and it's all gone. Nafany, that's a free pick. That's twice now Bit has gone untraded at Catwalk. And that's a skill from Gambit that we'll see on the CT side is tradability. Na'Vi Jr. lacking that right now on Mirage. Skriv. Last time we watched them on Dust 2, they had plenty of it, so perhaps something needs some tweaking. Bit could not have, maybe didn't communicate or didn't ask for a flash. Could be any number of things. But Uncare is definitely sticking around to try to be a nuisance. The smoke's about to fade. He jumps up in the corner. He's hoping he can get one and live here, or perhaps both, because he's in trouble as soon as the smoke fades. Supra gonna be exposed, and Shiro not gonna allow his homie to fall. Covered completely. Capacho's not even allowed to rotate, and that's it. That'll be 8 for Gambit. And this Mirage game, all things considered, has been played at a really quick rate.
Yeah, speed definitely the name of the game. I feel like, again, we're starting to fall into this, although early a little competitive and early a little more thought out, Na'Vi Jr. fighting back and whatnot. But these past 2 rounds that Gambit youngsters have picked up, it's just worked. They haven't had to do very much in terms of the mid-round risky decisions, right? Like, let's try and catch them off with this. It just seems the initial game plan of go here, dump utility, draw attention, seems to be working pretty heavily. They have lost a player. That's a bit awkward. Nafany has dipped out. Oh, barrel spotted. Gospodov. See you later, mate. I mean, dead to the flames. Anyway, apparently not really aware he was getting burnt. Topa does pick up 1, but taken out as well. So no saving coming in. And Nafany, not quite sure what happened. Maybe he just dropped off the hood or something. Or did he accidentally Alt F4, close his game instead of his Spotify or something? I don't know. Because he's back really quick. And they don't call a pause for it. So it must have been like, whoopsie daisy. Sorry, lads. I've just closed my game. 1 sec.
I'm reconnecting. What's the IP? Someone send it to me? Thanks. Happy you found his way back. Shiro, not going to ask for the op here because I think he has a decent idea. Na'Vi Jr.'s economy is not hot. Looking at 9 rounds on the T side, Scriv. Not so shabby. And the nades are perfect. Handled well from Nafany. 3. Oh, his 4th will get stolen, but he looked pretty clean with that one. There's 9 now for Gambit. We're going to see Nafany, I'm assuming. The nades. And the shots from Nafany. I'm here for it. The reset in between kills was really nice with that AK. Hard to do at times. You kind of want to just keep shooting. And Gospodarov has his op teammates, everything they need, Scrivs, just minus a kit. And I think Na'Vi Jr. really do want to win out here. If they can get to 5 rounds, that'd be ideal. Not perfect, not great for CT side, but ideal. Anything below that, you could be in some lukewarm water. I don't want to say hot water, because it's lukewarm. Nafany whiffing a little bit now. Gospodarov and Capacho have this unlocked. Shiro sure gets a kill. But it's just the ramp players, and on care is there. It's Axile alone. A 1v4, and Na'Vi Jr., their setup just pinch Gambit. They really funneled them hard in connector there, and Topa does not see the elbow. Peekaboo. There was an elbow there. Exile still, he might have timing, but after 1, surely that is it. And yeah, Topa comes back. So Na'Vi Jr. setup there was really funneling Gambit into connector like they've done before, but this time they set up aggressive towards A with 1 player, had a player site, another jungle, kind of just really pinching the Gambit youngsters players when they came through. Really well done. I'm impressed with that setup.
Wow, Na'Vi Jr. looking to get a few more here, bring it as close as damn it. I mean, this already for me is, with the way that they were playing against Tiki Taka, a bit closer here from Gambit youngsters for sure. On care. Missing out on the first, actually gets the second, and then the second, or well, the first represents itself. A weird exchange, but On care comes out on top. He too has been looking very solid for Na'Vi Jr. Early shot landed onto Shiro. He takes another. Oh, okay. On care, maybe getting a bit too greedy. Backs off a bit more than he can chew. Axile will drop him and into a 4 versus 3. Still not looking good for Gambit youngsters, though, with Shiro being so low. Not sure what the game plan is. They've given the bomb across to Shiro. He's going to chill in Palace. Are they actually going to fake B? And then... surely they just fake with utility, right? This is weird. Unless their only goal is to, like, get a bomb plant.
Ooh. Getting a little weird. 25 seconds. Big entry from Axile. They really isolated Gospodarov from getting involved up till that moment. Shiro gets a kill and can plant. They're going to think it's B. Axile has to make noise, though. He has to start shooting or really sell this. And they're both walking out through window. Oh, this positioning from Axile can work so beautifully. He hears them both going catwalk. He's going to peek the last player.
Yo.
Easy kill. And it's a 1v1 for Capacho. He realizes this. Going to pick up pace. Kit in hand on top of it all. Will he clear firebox? He knows Shiro's the opper, so that's the last place he'd expect. And Shiro will strike. Gambit youngsters take a bit of a wild one. And it gets them the round to double digits, Scriv. You were questioning it, and rightfully so. But it's just such Gambit fashion to make this round work after losing 2 players early. Like, they do that more consistently than I'd like to admit.
Yeah, for sure. In that case, though, right? Normally it's an individual play and stuff like that. In that case, they make like a wildly risky and somewhat objectively foolish decision, and yet it works out brilliantly. I am just, yeah, there's so much about that. Maybe we're not going to have time to break it down here because it looks like it is going to be a speedy final one with Shiro opening up as well. Yeah, but seriously, the fact that it's like the AWPer Shaw is lurking, that's already weird. And then he's got the bomb. They don't expect that initially. They just think, you know, oh, there's a lurk presence in the form of the AWP. He just waited there all round. What a boring guy. But no, he actually has the bot. And although it doesn't buy them much time, it buys them enough. So really, really smart stuff in that sense, I think. To just... I don't know, just the little things. I don't know whether it was intentional, but that's the way that it worked out. However, definitely a round that will be really tough to replicate. Not that they'll need to. The T side about to end, and it looks like it's about to end in their favor. Moving up short, moving on to B, easily enough. As Nafni will find the final. Really good stuff in the end. Not dropping a single player there. 11-4, and I think that 11th is going to give them the advantage, is going to give them the leg up.
No doubt in my mind. I agree with you wholeheartedly. My man, okay, leading the way for Navi Jr. Gospodarov not far behind, but then it kind of falls off from there. Enters not really having to do much. I hope they hit that mental reset button going into this next half. Pistol matters. Gambit youngsters, I mean, unfortunately now you have to win a pistol against Gambit youngsters on their CT side, kind of where their pistols are just unreal. It's no longer 50-50 for them. Like, it's far beyond that. And I did look up at the stat, Gambit youngsters round win percentage after receiving the first death scriv, and it's, to me, it sounds high. It's 32%. And it seems like Loot Bet. Really liking the Gambit youngster boys right now. Shout out to LoopBet, really cool partner. They are the lads. Check it out in the banner below and in chat, of course. But yeah, 32%. Honestly, I could see them getting up to 40, how consistently they do it, and that would be unreal.
Would be a little crazy. Oh, speaking of crazy, Axile, he's a madman. Able to get one, but maybe needed to be checked there. Maybe needed to be reined in, leashed in. Meanwhile, the A-bomb site retake setup, Gambit youngsters, this is pretty conventional. It's what they always go for, and somewhat obvious. So I feel like Navi Jr. were definitely expecting this, have approached the round in that way, and have actually got themselves a man advantage as well as a clean plant. Enters, takes down Bit. Oh, key fight to be winning there on Care. The fact that he has to move away, it just buys more and more time for the CTs to come in. Super has won his fight at CT. Not looking too good. The advantage now spinning back the other way, and Nafani with the pre-fire is nice and clean. Topa in a 1v3, not going to happen. Nafani, despite the low HP, is crisp with it. Both coming in, and Gambit youngsters looking to get the swift finish here on Mirage. Really solid start into the second half.
Yeah, they're just kind of picking up where they left off. 21 kills for Shiro, 16 Axile. The man might not send many tweets, but he plays really well in Counter-Strike, so... Axile kind of reminds me of who recently just got back on Twitter. Was it Guardian who never tweeted? And Snacks. Snacks is back on. He's tweeted for the first time in like 4 years. He finally removed the VP stuff from his Twitter and sent out a "Where am I?" type of tweet, which was kind of funny. Very snack-esque. And unfortunately, not a lot to talk about for Na'Vi Jr. here. They do have Deagles. You never know. Bang. Yeah. That's what they can do. Now Fanny's gone. He didn't even want to peek. He didn't even want anything to do with that. But he's involved in it now. Bit. Shame it's just the MP9, but he'll take it and look to find some great timing in towards jungle. Watch the mini-map and see how Gambit react to this one, because they're going to have to, Scriv.
Yeah, an early test for them. I think a bit of information gained on ramp by Supra. Smoke going down there as well, so nullifying that area kind of checks a box in terms of where they need to put manpower, considering they have a lack of it, so to speak. And they start to shape back towards B, towards mid. Super on high on the toll booth. Really good response to find that frag. Looking for a few more here. Only showing his head, and he does a fair amount of damage onto Bit. Axile able to finish him off, I would imagine, through the thin wooden window cover. I guess. Never really thought about what it actually is, but that's what it looks like. Regardless, looking good here. Oh, Wonka was there. Man on the inside. He's not able to find anything. All onto Gospodov. Too many angles, too many players. Dropped easily, and Gambit youngsters, despite a crispy opener, despite Super actually being left pretty low, they're able to recover it back. Because of course they are. They have the weaponry. They feel confident, and it's a nice 1D, but they don't really get much control with it on the Na'Vi Junior side. They don't really act off of it massively, so... But we'll see. Coming into this one, right, they're very quickly out with the AKs. We have a Scout, we have a FAMAS, they're weaker weapons. Meanwhile, we've got 5 AKs. A little bit of a lack of utility for the likes of Carpaccio and Topa, but this is a workable buy, and it kind of has to be. The game might just fall if they lose this.
Yeah, no doubt. Ooh. Damage being done by Gambit, but no kill. The honor lands on Ankari's hands. He'll get the first. Topa. Ooh, hello. Gonna send Inters packing. And Super knows he has to make a play, right? You're down a man, you're low on utility. And Carpaccio is just simply ready for it. I don't think he'll expect Nafani, but Nafani's gonna be sad for what he finds here. It's just gonna be a lack of anyone. Nafani even gets timing, but still wins the fight. And he's gonna clear A ramp. He's gonna let the boys know it's either connector or they're coming in towards B. And Inters is in trouble, caught in such an awkward spot. He's going to need some assistance from Shiro, who only has a Scout, and unless he hits some unreal Scout headshots, that's just going to be it. Bomb will go down. Na'Vi have done it. And honestly, that round was just simply out-muscling your opponent. Like, you have better weaponry, you're staying together, you win your initial duel, and just group and repush. Just clinical.
Yeah, pretty good stuff in that sense. Really, really happy with Na'Vi Junior's result, as I'm sure they are as well. And an opportunity early on in the T side. They're looking good with the rifles. They're able to move nicely and fairly coordinated, Keith, but it's a long road ahead. It is a very long road ahead. No real room for mistakes here, I don't think. They're going to have to pull it out of the bag, so to speak. Definitely not impossible, but starting in a good place, they need to stay in that good place. And that is certainly easier said than done.
Yeah, no doubt. Shiro. Nade towards top mid. Not gonna find the mark. No op for Shiro. Rifles, Scriv, kits. 1 Molly remaining in Na'Vi. A safe default. Because they understand that Gambit are gonna be a little hurting. They're gonna be struggling. Really cool smoke actually tossed into the window by Shiro. It gives that connector player some comfort. Gives him actually a bit of a one-way towards like under window. Other than that, wouldn't really open up too many opportunities for him. Just a standard bottom con, slow your roll type of smoke. I'm really enjoying the pace from Na'Vi here. This is more like the Na'Vi we know and we've seen play quite a bit. It just took them a bit too long to settle into this. I hope it's not too late because I'm a big fan of this play style. Axile. Flash won't hit, but the headshot from Hunker will. With Axile falling, Gambit youngsters split. Na'Vi Junior just gonna group and go to another site together. They've kept it simple, Scriv. They've stuck to the KISS mentality. They've kissed you and I, and they've kept it simple, stupid.
Oh, bit timing. Oh, absolutely perfect. Nafany half-heartedly checks it, but in comes Shiro, catches them distracted with their pants down, so to speak, getting a double spray down. Oh, through the smoke. Why? Oh, I don't know about that. Planning in the smoke is so very risky, and they don't really have time. Someone's got to get on it, and Intis is easily able to drop said player. Capacho can't save the day. Topa looks to save and is going to try and survive. Does actually take a name there, which is relatively big if you look at the cash. But they needed a few more than that, Na'Vi Junior. That's so unfortunate. They were looking good. They were looking really good, actually, and they let it slip way too early on the comeback train. Way too early. Needed a lot more from them. Needed to be probably up to at least 9 or 10 rounds, I would have thought. It is a week bye, but Gambit youngsters just knocking on the door. They'll eventually be able to take it over the line. If that's the situation, if that's the way that it goes, they will eventually be able to take it over the line.
Just an unfortunate slowdown of pace there. That's an attribute to Gambit youngsters' utility usage. Playing a bit of a safe game near the end. That is just filth. I use that word a lot, but all the shots Shiro hit like that are just described with that word beautifully. Wall bang headshot with the scout. One way to open it up. Topa's upset. Axile off angle, and Hunker is not missing a beat. Give this man an AK, he'll find you a kill. Question is, can you turn that into a round? You know, catwalk control, and the B player stuck and destroyed. Hunker is on a mission. Nafani, one of his own. It just, his jump button is not working, and he'll have to run around.
Bomb has been planted.
Got the bomb plant. Got a bit of time as well, as the CT's really unsure. They have hardly any control of B, even the extremities. But just waiting for Nafany to get into position, I would have thought. They do have kits available, but time is certainly ticking down. They're not leaving themselves a lot to work with here. Nafany's trying to be quiet the whole way through, but he needs to pick up the pace. Nice headshot onto Gospodov. Into a 2-on-2. There's just not enough time. Yeah, they're just not giving themselves enough time here. And no real information to work with. They have to use what they see. They have to react. They don't believe in themselves to do so. Capacho just about makes it out. Actually, no, dies to the bomb there. Huh, fair enough. Thought he would have made it out, but I suppose he was dead to Inters anyway. But regardless, Na'Vi Junior very easily, very quickly able to pick up that 6th, able to answer back. The issue is, again, that consistency and the lack of strings, so to speak.
Starting to find a bit of a groove. Utility reigning in for Na'Vi Junior. Topa to be the space creator. In fact, he gets a kill. Inter doesn't even want to go for that gun. He'd rather stick it to 5-7. Shiro. Okay, hang on. Man advantage. Very weak are these Gambit youngster players, but everyone's rotating over. Nafani's rifle is here to say hello, and all of a sudden, they're in some trouble. Molly will claim Gospodarov. Hunker's about to get double peeked by 2. Look out, that Molly is still there. And as we take a moment to relax, Hunker looks to make a play. Can he isolate a 1v1? Yes, sir. Does he know or expect super positioning and timing here? I think Hunker may to think either he's late flank or not out yet, and Supra will find the 1 bullet required. Grabs the AK, and Gambit youngsters jump to 15. Keep in mind, no plant, no money, no buy.
I mean, there is going to be a buy, but it's not good. So...
Of course. Sorry.
Yeah, no, I mean, I know
You got
what
my
you're getting
back.
at.
You got my
I know
back.
what you're getting at. Just got to clarify for some people out there who will take your words literally, as sometimes people do.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But regardless, the thing is, the point still stands. It's going to be hard. They're desperate. They need someone to step up, or a big mistake from Gambit youngsters, or maybe even just the whole team to come online at the same time. All of these things do not happen very often. Nice boost up coming in from Bit here. Just sitting around. He loves that ledge. He has done this quite a lot, actually. Just sitting patiently, waiting, rather than jumping in like a madman. There seems to be an idea, something they've definitely worked on for their T side. Maybe while playing around B, maybe while, you know, hoping to catch someone peeking, or this player who sits in window in the form of Nafany, will he jump out when this B presence is shown, and an easy frag for Bit? We'll see. Time will tell. Meanwhile, the B hits coming in all through apartments. Axile on the Deagle. A little weird here. He doesn't have a rifle, but it looks like they don't really need him to have one. A team ace, perhaps, if Shiro can chime in. A perfect way to close out the map. Certainly looking like that is going to be the case here, though. It's actually Axile to pick up the 2K. A little greedy of him, if you ask me, but nonetheless, 16-6 for Gambit youngsters. To be expected, I think. Na'Vi Jr., it would have been nice to see a bit more from them. Initially, very competitive in places. Youngsters taking their map pick, looking really good while doing it, and seemingly just on that other level we were expecting from them.
Yeah, I do think and feel like Vertigo is really the map that we're going to focus on, and the map that we're going to see a lot more from these Na'Vi Junior boys. I started to see strides of improvement on Mirage, but they kind of just figured out Gambit a bit too late on that T side, and it snowballed as we witnessed to this outcome. I think Vertigo is going to be a different story. I don't think Knife's going to play too much into it. I think Na'Vi looks really good against alternate attacks on the attack and defending side. So I'm not too worried. I hope everyone's excited. Any thoughts on Vertigo before we jump over to it, Scriv, after a break? Because I know you're probably looking forward to it a lot, especially considering you've seen Na'Vi grow up, in quote unquotes, right? Get good, beat alternate attacks. Like, you've watched them a bit more than I have.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like you say, they look really, really good in that sense yesterday, but I feel like alternate attacks underestimated them. Alternate attacks were a bit deflated towards the end and everything, and we saw that going into the second map where they kind of got rolled. I just feel Gambit youngsters, pound for pound, the way that they play, it combats the style that Na'Vi Junior come at the game with, and yeah, I just think they're a bit of a better side overall, and they play very well when they are ahead, when they are the overdogs, as it were. So I think Na'Vi Junior, although should be closer, it's still going to be really hard. Arguably, if you look at the stats, it's a better map for Gambit youngsters. So you may be more comfortable on it, but they're also maybe more comfortable on it. So it's really going to be hard.
Yeah, we know Gambit youngsters like taking risks, and they're really good at flanking on this map, which is hard to do. So I'm intrigued to see how Na'Vi Jr. are going to handle it. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, one of these guys are going to be crowned champion. And in theory, that means technically they should use their youngsters or junior title and kind of just transform into a new, like, let's say, teenager team. Maybe like, I don't know, Na'Vi teens or something. Who knows? We're going to throw it to a break. When we come back, it'll be Vertigo.
Nice shot. Lock and load.
Wow, very good. Let me show you how it is done. Yeah, no. Woo, damn! That was one of the best nickel fights I've been to.
And welcome back. It is, of course, Malta Vibe Squib. Squib? Your name's Squib?
Who's that dude?
I don't know. That's your new
Some
alter
other
ego,
guy.
Squib. Yeah, some other guy. He's in the room with you. Look out. Careful. But we are back, of course. Malta Vibes brought to you by Gaming Malta, the home of gaming excellence. As we all know, over these last 5 weeks, even though it's been a bit long than 5 weeks, we take a day off sometimes. Anyway, we're on number 5, and it's grand finals of number 5, which is really exciting. We have the 2 junior teams like we wanted. We have the map that we've been waiting for. It's Vertigo, and I think Navi Junior, it's their time to turn this train around, not figuratively, but very literally, actually.
Yeah, a lot of work to do. They look good initially. They had a few rounds on the board. They started off relatively well. They were able to kind of fight back once the rifles came into play and everything on both halves, actually. And then just never really seemed to keep that consistency. It dropped off in a pretty big way. Again, in both halves, Gambit youngsters were able to get a read on them, get the better of them, either break the economy and just keep them under the cosh, or consistent enough themselves, or some nice mid-round calls, right? We saw a good number of rounds where they made these mid-round calls and they turned a 3v5 around at one point. I think they did it a couple times, but there was a pretty big one that we really didn't give them a chance at. The weird AWP left in Palace to lurk and get the bomb down by itself, but it worked. It worked. They pulled out some wacky stuff, and they were indeed in the heads of Navi Junior. But Vertigo, a very different beast, much more confident map here for Navi Junior. So I am still thinking Gambit youngsters are going to take it over the line.
Yeah.
But I feel like Navi Junior might just be able to give them a decent run for their money here.
Just so that you know, Gambit are on a 7-game win streak in a row on Vertigo. They have a 77.2% win rate on rounds where they get the first kill, which is honestly really high for Vertigo. They've only to teams, and I mean barely, like Heroic 16-12, Norvin 25-23, 16-13 Complexity not so long ago, 16-18 Complexity. They've only lost to like Windstrike, Complexity, and Norvin on this map script. These guys are just beating everyone else, beating LDLC, beating Navi Junior twice, beating Aves, beating alternate attacks as well. And then if you look at Navi's side, a little less, equally impressive, but they're on 1 win out of 2, or like 1 out of the last 3 wins. They've beaten teams like Crazy, LDLC as well, but lost to Windstrike, Giants, and of course Gambit Youngsters twice. So bigger kind of pool to go from for the Gambit Youngsters. To me, looking like the better team script. And only time will tell, though.
Yeah, definitely. But as I talked about, right, you look at the win statistics in terms of the scores. I think it was 16-11 the first time on the 31st, and then on the 1st of July and August, respectively, right? So really recently.
Yes.
It was 16-14. So Navi Junior, immediate improvement, and might just be able to take it over the line this time around, right? 3rd time the charm, you would have thought. They come as close as damn it that 2nd time, so surely the next step is either a victory or maybe overtime, if it's to be as prophetic as I'm assuming. But we'll see here. Like, I still think Gambit youngsters looking so hot on the day, and may well have been caught off by Navi Junior, and they've also had some time to work on it. The bookies, of course, Loot Bet agreeing with us. There's that banner down below. You can use code Malta to get yourself 10 free spins and 100 bonus euros on your first deposit. Regardless, here we go into the second map, quite possibly the final map. I think that is the thought on everyone's minds. Navi Junior are indeed going to have to prove us wrong.
Yeah, definitely have a lot to prove, do Navi Junior. Starting on the CT side. They're about to get executed on. The decoys will go. The utility will follow it up. Topo trying to block the smoke. In fact, it still lands perfectly square. Was hopeful to find a bit of a gap. And Gambit youngsters just waiting out the spam, and now they're going to move. Maybe a bomb tap from Intervs. No hill full stick. Assuming no nades will come flying in. And 5v5 retake script. This could get a little wild. Supra gonna take the first initial fight. Very passive from Navi Jr. They're really waiting for someone else to peek them. Now they have to take the fight to Supra. He gets the first. Bit is up next. Enters Supra. They're all getting kills. It's Gospodarov and Topa alone. And everyone else has fallen but Gospodarov. And unless he finds 3-1 taps, that is it. He's going for an... he's a madman.
Only in the grand final, eh? Oh, goodness. I think he was like, all right, if they charge past me thinking I've run away, I got him. But then he realized, wait, they heard me step here. God damn it. Now I'm screwed, you know. He was pretty screwed anyway, not going to lie. And a really nice round from GAMBIT youngsters, actually. That patience is paramount. Really well done. They just play it safe and like you say, wait for them to come to us kind of mentality, and it works perfectly. They have this, not even like a crossfire, just 3 players watching the same angle in a row, in a line, and they're just able to mow people down. Really, really cool. And it does rely on you hitting your shots. What? No, Shiro, why are you gonna do that? Why have you got to do that? He's just... pause for breath. And he finds all 4 of these kills. That third one is ridiculous. And then Shiro steals the ace. It's an eco ace, but nonetheless, that would have been one of the fastest aces I've seen in a while. Very rude of both GAMBIT youngsters and Shiro onto his teammate there. But nonetheless, second round over just like that. As to be expected, it was a bit of a stack play coming in from Navi Jr., hoping to get a catch on a couple of players, maybe not working for them, but ultimately a throw away. And we'll see now with the first rifle round coming in pretty damn quickly whether Navi Jr. can start to answer back.
Yeah, this is their time. You have 2 MAC-10s, a couple Galils. GAMBIT youngsters are weakened in comparison to what they'll be next round, so definitely wanting to pick this up. GAMBIT youngsters going for the bonus, going for their robbery. And Kara's going to show you a really sick angle to hold the jump up, as well as the deep push into Z. And with that being smoked, he only has one thing to focus on. He's going to jump right back up. Nafani throws the molly. Ankara's so blind, he's forced off the angle. Could quick flank, but he's lost his B player. Ankara's going to have to double in here. Bomb not quite on the site, but he's on 2 HP, and he gets another. That's so big for the retake effort, Scriv.
Absolutely massive, but the Molotov keeping the quick reaction from the rest of the CTs at bay. And they might just ducktail and get out of there. Not going to be the case, though. They go for a second attempt. No kits available. Time ticking away. Certainly working against them. Bits of utility, but they're just going to have to move in and try and find the frags. Bit coming through with one. A great return flashbang here, though, from actually the CT side. What's happened there? Inters comes in with the double. But yeah, looking at the kill feed, it's Gospodarov's flash that's screwed them. Huh. That, if nothing else, is going to boom the mental.
Oh, look, he's not... Okay, Gospodarov has a lot of explaining to do, because not only did his first flash, which, by the way, threw over AC, and I knew what he was going for. He was trying to land it behind the pillar on site, right? And blind everyone like 90 on B stairs. But he throws one, misses, blinds his teammates. Okay, you've only lost one player from it, that's fine. Throws another one, literally seconds later, and blinds his other teammates. So he made them both blind, Scriv, with the same flash that popped in the exact same place. Just a bit of a miscomm. And that's how Navi Jr., that's how that retake falls apart for them. GAMBIT youngsters bought up those AKs. They'll keep inters on the MAC-10 and one Galil. Shiro, no way he expects Ankara to already be down here. I have a feeling someone might be pushing, and if Shiro clears this, he is just going to clear every corner but this. Yeah, overlooked, AK grabbed. Ankara can get on out of there, but Inters is waiting, so he was inevitably trapped.
Yeah, decent damage control there. You can definitely see, though, maybe with the previous round, and we'll see how it unravels. But I do think there's maybe this added amount of pressure. I talked about it a little bit at the top of the show. Navi Jr. are in a position, particularly coming into Vertigo, where They have the pressure of losing. That's a given. They have the pressure of being the underdogs. Also a given. But they kind of had this added pressure, I think, of like, they can actually do this. They can actually win this map. They've proven not just once, but twice that they're competitive, that they can bring it close against Gambit youngsters. And if they're not able to do that, like early on, if they feel themselves slipping, I think that pressure might just get to them of a case of like, this is a name that we could take, and this is a decent side. They're same age, similar position in terms of representing an org. Although I suppose Gambit youngsters are the only ones doing so, but still. This added amount of pressure in terms of a possible victory, not just from the likes of you and I and the viewers, but themselves. They've brought it close. It's like, look, if they were coming into this Vertigo, having lost their own map pick, that would have been the mental boom, as it were. That would have been the difficult one. Let's say they're really good at Mirage, and Gambit youngsters rinse them on it. That's kind of the hard thing to bounce back from. But moving into reality, I feel like they can genuinely do this, and I think they know it. And 4-0, this goes to like 6 or 7-0. I don't know if the mental fortitude keeps up.
They gotta find a way to bounce back. Gospodarov with the op is always a great way to start a ramp aggression. I'm a fan of, but this is what Gambit want. They want you to take this A ramp control and question why it's so empty and have you continue to drop your utility into this room. You're playing into Gambit right now. Gambit went into this hoping you would drop all your utility. Nated a flash push from Topa. The man makes a play for himself, sees a Lagashiro, and there you go. Topa, with one flash he tossed himself, will decimate Gambit youngsters. And although they were playing into Gambit's hands exactly what they wanted, they were not ready for Topa to go full-blown aggressive.
He's destroyed them. He's absolutely wrecked them there. That's massive. It's what Na'Vi Jr. needed, some kind of a hero and a turnaround. Not said and done just yet, but one would assume, right? 5v2, surely they don't let this slip. I mean, a few kills could come through, but no, not going to happen. Capaccio and Bit able to hold things down. Bit, it's a little dicey for him. He had to duck away, but all good in the end. And Na'Vi Jr. will get their first round on the board. Perfect stuff here towards ramp, catching them massively off guard there, actually. And also surviving with all 5 players. So a really good way back in. And as I said, we were getting to a point where, okay, another rifle round 1. Maybe we've got a half buy. That's 6-0. Can we actually do this? That's given them the chance and the moment, as well as it being an individual play, which is always good for the confidence. So I think they're going to be really happy with that, and could see them converting a few more off the back of it.
Snowball it. That's what you gotta do. If not now, it may never happen. Gotta start to win a couple rounds back to back. On Mirage, it started too late. Here it has to happen at a well-timed moment, and this is it. Gasparov misses a shot. That could be worrisome. Sprayed down. Topa has done kind of tucked tail and burrowed in here on scaffolding, and he's kind of escaped it all. Shiro, though, is still posted. I think he was holding for a short peek, but he saw Topa walking up. It worked out perfectly nonetheless, Scriv.
Ooh, on care.
Excuse me, jeez.
That's all good. That's all good, man. On care, though, he's coming while you're fixing your box. He's coming with a pretty cheeky one. Might just be able to turn the tides with it. Unsure. I love this boost. This is really cool. They've spotted the player on the outside of the girder, that classic angle. But not really able to do anything with the boost, unfortunately. And this spot is so hard to deal with. Like, it is so hard. And they're just going to decide to save. Really, nothing presenting itself beyond the 1 kill for Oncare that he was able to find. So they will work their way out of there. And Gambit youngsters straight back in, 5th round. That is not ideal. It's really going to give them the momentum back. And keep their own confidence. Keep the control in their hands. So we'll see. We'll have to see for sure. This is a really key round coming up. They will have money to buy and everything, especially off the back of the save. But I mean, they would have done anyway. But it just makes life easy. Makes the decision easy. However, Gambit youngsters actually looking very good and have potential. If they can keep this going, they have potential to run away with the first half.
Yeah, it's within reach. The exchange of fire. Airbenders control fire, right? Or is there, am I like, did I just like ruin something by saying that, Scriv? Dumb question. Or are they called firebenders?
I think I only watched it briefly when I was a kid. But then he's the last airbender, and I thought he could use them all. I think we're butchering this anime for sure.
Yeah,
we're gonna get raged.
We'll stop. Yeah, we'll stop butchering it. Point is, they're throwing fire at each other. That was the reference I'm making. I've never seen someone wallbang toes before. That's Nafani, exactly what he does. As he's able to clear out that sandbags without having to use any utility, which is ideal. Pretty good. On Care knows he has to make a play, and honestly, it's well timed. Maybe he can find one of these players lurking around for Gambit youngsters, but they've already started shifting back, Scriv. It's just Supra. He's alone. And Navi, because it went silent, I don't know if they're rotating. I don't know if they're rotating the save or rotating because they really had a hard read that Supra's a lurker and they're going to go back to B. Either way, Bit's now caught off. There'll be a smoke blocking his vision on the right. And if he peeks left, maybe a couple players posted on him. But Capacho gets here before the smoke. That's important.
Very important. Massive stuff. Giving them a slight chance back into things. A little bit of nade damage coming through there as well onto the planter in the form of inters. However, as they move in, yeah, Shiro just able to play contact and finds them both with the smoke dissipating. Gambit youngsters will shut it down. 6th round coming through. Looking a little cleaner as things go on as well. Back and forth. Few kills here and there. They're just one step ahead.
Held case could be the last time you'll hear it in Malta Vibes 5. 6, it'll be back. 5, this might be the last time you'll hear it. Malta V 15. Get some top-ups. Get 50% refill. And hundreds of cases. Tons of giveaways. Hell case is the place to be. Check it out in the banner below and in chat. And maybe he'll throw flashes as good as Bit. Works out. Blinds himself. Gets a kill. And will go down. Yeah, but youngsters out of that exchange walk away a man standing extra. A weird way to word that, but it worked out perfectly. And now Navi Jr. going to have to play a bit aggressive with his double MP9 solo up to lock down B. And I feel like mid's lacking some attention so far this game, Scriv.
Yeah, kind of from both
it's been ignored.
sides. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like Navi Jr. played a bit more reactively rather than proactively. Maybe we need a push in there solidly. That's a shame for Gospodov, missing the flick. As the 4v2 coming in, Molly burning them away. A desperate attempt from Orncare, but really nothing coming in. Capacho's gotten his hands onto the AWP of his fallen comrade and will look to save it. But yeah, maybe you're tapping into something. Obviously, it's a lot easier for us with all the information. Capacho not even going to save the AWP there, by the way. But yeah, maybe it's a bit easier to us with all the information. I'd love to see some confidence or some aggression from Navi Jr. Like I say, they're just looking a little shaky. Letting the pressure get to them. Playing a bit too safe. They just need to go for it, man. Just need to go for it, and particularly in a round like this. Go wild. Push up mid. Why not? I suppose the issue with mid and aggression and whatnot, particularly with speed and little utility usage is, well, this is a great angle, although that's a fantastic flash over the top. They're taking the leaf. They're listening to the great mind of Keith and I. Great mind? Minds. That really contradicts itself, doesn't it? I'm trying to act smart and then I say the wrong word. Onkare, though, will manage to pick up a frag off the back of it. So the mid-aggression works out. Keith, okay, and here we are. Carpaccio drops down quickly. Gospodov behind him, but Nafany doing all the work, bringing it back into a 3-on-3. So far, it's damaged. So far, it's competitive, but still, Gambit youngsters are able to regain control. They never truly lose control of a round, it seems.
Yeah, that percentage, as I said, 77% win rate after losing the first player. After getting the first kill. I think it was like 32 on this map after losing the first. I'll double check that. I only got through the one, but that's a pretty good win rate after getting the first pick. Topa, CZ gets one and disappears out of short. He's out of options, can't fall back. And damage on Axile is honestly all you can ask for here. And Bit, he's creeping and he's crawling. Not on all fours. He's still walking, which is good, because I'd be alarmed if he's walking on all fours in CS. And Super will tap, Axile will cover, and Super will find Onkare trying to creep on out of boost. Room 8-1. That's where we are. Navi Jr. will come back with a buy. And let me double check my numbers for you, Scriv. 1 sec. And it's 32% after receiving the first death. They win 32% of rounds, which is really high for Gambit. That's a really high stat to have.
Absolutely massive, to be honest. And it's really coming to a head here where Navi Jr. brought it competitive in the past. Didn't get to watch those games, so it may well have been two T-sides, popping off. But all the same, at the moment, Gambit youngsters are looking very, very good. And you do indeed need to have a semblance of the opposite side to your strong one. Otherwise, your strong one has to be pretty much flawless. And that's a lot to ask for. Another slow start here from Gambit youngsters. Big chunk onto Topa early on. The ramp aggression was a little wild. They kind of met, but no frags came in. And the Gambit youngsters wanted to get out of there, take a reset, and just cool off. Come at it again in the final, maybe 40 to 30 seconds of the round, depending on how long they want to let this clock wind down. Great angle from Topa, spotting out the information, and able to drop away safely. Call for some rotations as well. Meant they could put a bit more pressure towards mid and towards B. So interesting that that's where Na'Vi have decided to change things in the past few rounds.
They may consider a boost here, but Nafany, quick up short. That flash is going to be hard to dodge. It hits one of the players. Nafany knows there's one more. Will he clear right? Yes, sir. 13 seconds. They have to get this bomb down. It's coming out towards B. Carpaccio, can he do it? No. Gospodov, can he stop the plant? Yes, he actually can. And that's how the round falls apart. Gambit. The issue with doing exactly what they did is, well, if one thing goes wrong, which it did, you lose the round. Secondly, you're not really pulling anyone off of any sites by hitting both at the same time, Scriv.
Definitely a wild kind of attempt. I think they did indeed run out of options. I feel like the initial attack onto ramp, they should have just stuck with that instead of dropping away from it. All the effort, all the work that they had put in, just not paying off. Kind of wasted, right? But we'll see. Definitely not a wild turn of events, a wild changing of the guard, so to speak. It's not like Na'Vi Jr. are now going to start winning and running away and all that. It's kind of close. They have to sacrifice weapons in places. Meanwhile, Gambit Youngster's got a good bit of bank built up. Love this spot, though. the boost's looking cool and innovative in a sense, or at the very least a little niche from Na'Vi Jr. Not saying they did come up with them, but not too often do you see boosts like that. However, it does seem Gambit youngsters, maybe that's where they got caught off initially when they were playing these guys. They seem a lot more comfortable around them and prepared for them in a sense. Another slow round though. Been talking for a fair amount of time here. We've not seen a frag come in. Nafany's taken some damage, but with 40 seconds left, someone has got to make a move.
Moves are being made, and it's in Gambit youngsters' favor. Supra with 2. 20 seconds once more on the clock. A plant has to come in. These nades deal damage but cannot find the planter. Inters on 14. Lucky to be alive, and Supra's going into the clutch tuck corner. The only thing they can ask for from Inters is play tradable or get 1. And Na'Vi Jr. are backing up Scriv. Yeah. They'll concede 9 and play with the op into the next. I don't hate the decision, but at some point you're going to have to start forcing these.
Definitely the right decision. Like you say, no retake utility, so it kind of makes sense. Still sucks to be on the end of, right? Because you'd love to be able to go for it. You'd love that 1 in 50, 60 round clutch. But not going to happen for them. Ooh, bit of spicy slow-mo there. Nicely done. And they are once again able to put together a buy thanks to the save. It's very similar to the previous round. A little bit of a lack of weaponry on a couple of the players. To facilitate utility, I suppose. But no harm, no foul. I think they should certainly be able to get this done. That's a beautiful smoke there. Gasparadov trying to be the hero, trying to get aggressive and be proactive. And I do respect it. When you're 9-2 down, you have to make some kind of a play. Just doesn't work in this case. And I think that is indeed the tale of the grand final. Na'Vi Jr. just cannot catch a break. We thought they would be able to catch some, create some into Vertigo. But Gambit youngsters have their number this evening. And this round just kind of actualizing that into reality. 5 on 4. Okay. Shiro missing the easy shot, but Topa's just caught out in the open. He's just not ready for it. And once again, I think we're going to look at a save here from Na'Vi Jr. It'll be a 10th. Gambit youngsters hitting the double digits super fast.
Trying to save once more. You nailed it, Scriv. Gambit youngsters get away with another. This corner from Capacio's one Nafany's probably never had to deal with. And they both grab AKs. And this may just be where the hunt will stop. The Gambit youngster boys. No, allow them to finally save and get away with it. But 10 rounds for Gambit youngsters on the T side. Typically, you'll see anywhere between 8 and 10 rounds for a T side. Na'Vi, in my opinion, must win out. Gospodarov enough for the up. The players that saved can even drop. Why did Topa just buy an MP9? Could have been dropped to Famas, Scriv. But maybe they are getting a little upset.
Yeah, this is what I was talking about, man. The mental game, it's so important. A lot of what we do, right, is based on statistics and whatnot, particularly when we come into these matchups where maybe we've not had time, or similar to the players, really, we've not had time, or there's just not enough information to go away and watch all the games, and it's not a matchup that comes through very often. A lot of it does come down to the mental. And stuff like this, Super just finding 2 on his own, 1 with a Glock through the smoke is disgusting, right? Like, and Na'Vi Jr., there's so many rounds down, and then that's just, it's exacerbated. It's even worse than it normally is, because you've already got all this stuff piled on top, and I've been missing easy shots, and Gospodov's not listening when I tell him, you know, not to peek out. Hit him with a nice one there. The whole point, because they might have a chance back in. That's a fluff spray down from Nafany. Shiro in with the trade, and thank goodness. He'd have got away with that kill and been able to push forwards. That could have actually turned the round upside down. Despite Bit's heroics, though, not a chance. Will be the 11th for Gambit youngsters. Costly, but nonetheless, they're really happy to hit 11, I'm sure. But yeah, to pick up, I think there is this kind of issue that they're having with that added pressure of the fact that they could possibly win this. They're the other junior team in the scene. Different name, but it means the same thing, right? And I think the average ages, I did look, I think the average ages of these two teams is like the same across the board. So, and I feel this time it's gotten to them. The previous times, maybe Gambit youngsters weren't prepared, maybe Gambit youngsters were fatigued and tired, playing in a lot of tournaments and playing a lot of games in a day. But this time, not the case. You've clearly gone away and done the work, or at the very least got that pep talk, whether it be from Finn or someone within the team going, come on, we're better than these guys. We frag better than these guys. It's a really interesting conversation. We're kind of in well, I'm kind of in podcast mode. Orncare and Topa, though, coming in here. Oh, I know Scopey legs him. No, that's so unfortunate. And they're able to just keep pushing forwards. From 0 to 100, Na'Vi Jr. might just have picked up their third round. Can Inters deny them? Really doesn't look likely.
Even with pre-aiming the right angle, that is so hard to clear without someone coming out deep and someone coming out close of the door and being able to just peek him together. When you're alone, it's almost like that's not going to happen that often. Now, this is a big one for Na'Vi Jr. You desperately need 15. You need to win 15, get up to 4. This means pistol isn't as vital. And Gambit youngsters are going to let you think about it, let you stew on that thought, because they're going to take a bit of a tack. They're going to talk things through themselves. They've fallen apart around here or there near the end. And they're probably discussing, honestly, what set piece they want to run. Because I haven't really been doing much of that. It's been a lot of hanging out. Now, what I would like to see is some mid control. We've seen Gambit youngsters split mid to B once. And it's so hard to stop, Scriv.
All right, back into the action. Gambit youngsters, what is the answer here? Really wanting to steal the coffin as quickly as possible. Quick result against Tiki Takan earlier. This one not quite as quick, objectively, but it's not too far behind. A lot of utility usage early on here. Not too much movement, however. Not seeing enough movement. Ah, brilliant. That's just in history now, isn't it? Every time you mention a lack of movement. Poor guy. Poor guy. Regardless, down ramp, we have seen some movement. Orncare as well, moving in. Contact. Oh, finds the booster, and he also gets the boosty. Perfect stuff. 2 shots, 2 frags. Shiro will drop him because he just can't recock fast enough. But nonetheless, he's done the work here, Keith. 4 versus 3. Orncare steps up in a big way.
I'm used to seeing him do that. It's becoming less and less surprising. Orncare to me could be the next guy to break through. And this boost, like, how often do you see a CT on top of that big box? Like, it's such a rarity. Pancho, bit aggressive towards 87. I like that call. That's going to be called 87. And, well, he's gone. He's already gone. Super doesn't matter. Doesn't like the call. Kasparov has to worry about mid, and Shiro bests him. He posts up, and with 20 seconds, questionable to leave Shiro with the bomb because someone has to come help him out. But they're getting double flanked. Do they just go A? No, they're going to go back to B. But this double flank can be so deadly to stop the plant.
Oh! Oh! All right. Ridiculous. And Shiro finds the final frag onto Topa. Gambit youngsters, they manage again to pull it back, despite the heroics of Ornke. He's actually the only one to find frags in that round, Keith. Which is insane. Absolutely insane. I feel like Na'Vi Jr. going to be kicking themselves. So that's really not a good half, considering we bigged them up, and I think they bigged themselves up and maybe a bit too much, thinking it would be easier than this. They only get 3 rounds on their CT side. That is a tough one.
No doubt. Loopbet is not liking the look Na'Vi Jr. have given. Shout out to Loopbet as our official betting partners. They are the best. Check out the banner below and take a peep in chat. They'll hook you up. And Gambit youngsters look to take a pistol, which means they'll get to 13. Force buy would obviously come in from Na'Vi, so we're going to have to see something here. These Glocks are going to have to turn into killing machines and find these Gambit youngster members. Spotted from Supra. Oh, he just taps Topa away. He'll take his one and fall back. I mean, look, wasn't as quick as it could have been, but hey, it was pretty snappy.
That was pretty nice. It was pretty nice. They get one through the smoke as well. This is... Yeah, Na'Vi Jr. just like, come on, man. Please, just let us get the bomb down. Another kill through the smoke. What did we do to deserve this? What did we do? We just wanted the 1 map. The 2-1 was probably still going to happen. Got spread up. 2 quick headies, but nothing more than that. And that may well do it. That may well do it. I mean, yeah. He had a lot of targets there, to be fair to him. But nonetheless, you'll love to see a 1-tap. Not a bomb plant coming in for Na'Vi Jr. A couple frags at the end. Really not a lot to give them. I'm trying to be an optimist here, Keith. There's just not a lot to give them. They're going to eco this one out. It'll be 14-3 by the time rifles come into play. And then Na'Vi Jr. have got to get the ball rolling and not let it stop for quite some time. They've got to build up a massive snowball down the hill. And I'm not sure they quite have the ability to do so. Whether it'll veer off, whether it'll fall apart, remains to be seen.
Here we go. Inter's going to be pressured. Osprey's on point, and he'll just cut him down with a help of Exile. 14 gifted to Gambit youngsters. Buy now for Na'Vi Jr. It'll be AKs, maybe a pause to follow. Perhaps they want to discuss their plan of attack, but not much to talk about for us, as it has just been the Gambit youngsters show. And if you have rightfully pointed out, maybe not younger in age, but Na'Vi Jr. on the path that Gambit youngsters started on, if not a year or so ago. So who knows where we'll be in 6 months' time, let alone a couple months. And Gambit youngsters looking to put this one to bed. The AKs hopeful to find the first pick, but aggression from Gambit youngster, of course, it's going to come out towards that B site. A little bit of spam damage, some bait nades, and Bit is so blind. Shiro looking to fight. Super's got another. Exile's aggression is rewarded. Not once. I was going to say not once, but twice, but it is just once. His head is gone. They own the B site, sure. But this 2v4 is not going to be a cakewalk at all.
Oh, Capaccio dinked out in his position known. He's caught with a molly in hand and just gets his leg shot out from underneath him. Supra finds the final 2 frags. Na'Vi Jr. getting a little ripped apart. Thought it was going to be closer than this, Keith. But as I said, kind of coming into things with the 2-0 prediction and whatnot, not to gloat or anything, but literally like the fact that Gambit youngsters are on another level today. They're playing really clean Counter-Strike. Pressure not getting to them. Cool, calm, and collected. No risks. No mistakes. Well, a few. But as little as possible. They are, as you would say, dialed in. And it's really showing here. 12 in a row. Na'Vi Jr., the thinnest of silver linings in the previous round is the fact that they get the bomb down. So they can facilitate a buy here, although not ideal. It's all they've got. They need to make it work. It seems a bit of speed coming out on ramp is their answer and what they're going to go for. And the bomb goes in first. Okay. There's no excuse for that one. I feel like they are rushing towards B, so you might as well, but this really forces their hand. The bomb being the first man in and dropping right at the feet of the CTs. Gospodarov, though, going to find 2 heads. So much damage done through the smoke. But a 3 versus 3 at least looking doable.
Definitely possible. They have little HP on Ankar and Gospodarov. No op for him to pick up either. Bomb is down. Gambit, just wait patiently. They're biding their time. They're not the ones who have to make a move. Oh no, that's Navi Jr. You'll see. I believe that is Inter start to clear all the way back. Work his way in the middle. Shiro just avoids the molly. No smoke. They're gonna have to face him. Shiro with the first. Can he double in? No. Pacho, that's huge. And Kasparov will find Axile. Inter's alone. Can Navi keep limping through this scrib? They're gonna need a couple in a row, but this is a perfect place to start. Not ideal, but hey, any fight's a good fight. And they just can't give Inters the 1v1s.
Making some noise. Flash recovered. Doesn't really want to use that. He needs to find... Okay, he's going to use it. He needs to find a frag quickly. It's a nice little flash. Forces the turn away from Carpaccio, and now 3 HP for Gospodarov to keep them in it. Not going to happen. He's got the kid available. The 1v2 to close out proceedings. And, of course, that sums it up perfectly. Gambit youngsters can do no wrong as Navi Jr. won't even bow out gracefully. They trip and stumble and fall flat on their face, lose a couple of teeth in the process. Gambit youngsters laughing all the way to the bank with the clean 2-0